we are back. Cracking open a Pepsi. Oh, okay. I only have 2 Pepsis left, so I need to go get more at some point soon. Alright. Oh. Anthropic Hills.
The next area you're going to is... Honestly, it's better if you see for yourself.
Okay. I see. Very cool.
Hello there, Byron. What can I do for you?
I don't know if I got through to Athena. Things are going very wrong in this city, and she has to do something about it.
Does she?
Who else are they going to listen to?
I don't know. How about you?
I'm an explorer, Cornelius, not a leader. I don't know how to convince anyone.
So? Do you think Athena and I are somehow different? We're just people, Byron. We're no wiser than you are, just a little older.
Okay. I'm liking this place. Universal active... So let me just fully understand how this works. It is a jammer field. Okay. But they only respond to their own signals, except to other jamming fields. So if I put a jammer, for instance, here, and I put this here, now it activates itself. I can take this. Wow. That's pretty crazy.
I just wanted to say that I appreciate the work all of you have been doing. I know I'm not a natural leader like Byron, but it means a lot to me that you've stuck with me.
I would never abandon you, Byron. Not Byron, Al. Byron's the other guy. That I also won't abandon. I won't abandon any of them. They're all my friends now. How strange. Markings to be seen from a higher place, perhaps? Perhaps from a particular point of view? They seem to be put there very purposefully. Chain react. Ah, it is you. my dear boy. And you, I understand now. But for what purpose? It jams even the doors. Even those doors, it will jam. There must be some sort of circuit allowing such. I see. Okay. Thank you, oh mighty men. Weird. I'm sure I'll get a better understanding of how it all fully bleeds together very soon. But for now, zoinks. Well, that's gonna be pretty hard for me to decipher. From 42 Tales by Athanasius. Athanasius? The spirit of time was angry at Straton of Stahira, for the old philosopher had asked questions that were forbidden. If man is no more than dust, it said to him, then I shall turn you back to dust, and my winds will disperse you to the far corners of the world. Thus you will be nothing, and your questions will trouble me no more. And so time did, and Straton of Stahira was nothing. But Straton's voice did not cease, and time was perplexed. All across its domain it searched for Straton, yet he was nowhere to be found. Only his books remained. And of these men made copies, and Straton's voice grew louder. And of these men made copies. Now time was furious, but Straton laughed and laughed and laughed. Yeah, it's still not unjumbled. From Mitku to Athena. Dear Athena, Byron once asked me why we seem unable to perceive the dam. I asked him what he meant, and he said that people can't seem to really grasp the dam as an object. They can be moved by the sight of a mountain or a gorge, but the dam seems insignificant to them. Look at it, he told me. Just look at it and try to understand that people made that. Try to really see it. It took me a while to fully understand what he meant. It takes conscious effort to open one's mind to the ecstatic beauty that is hidden in every human accomplishment, and further conscious effort to maintain this ability. If only we were capable of seeing this beauty by default, the world might be a different place, but it seems the ancients had the same problem. Why am I writing this to you, who may not even be reading these messages? because today is one of those days when it feels like I'm the only one who still sees that beauty. I tried talking about it to Linerx, but while I admire her principles, she isn't open to a more poetic experience. Or perhaps I just expressed myself awkwardly. I don't know. All I know is that it's hard to see something so beautiful and not be able to share it. Respectfully, Mitku. Yeah. There's a star up there. Shit, man, I gotta get up there.
Hey, 1K. Anything I can do for you?
Giant statues, creepy or inspiring?
Both? What do you think?
I think inspiring.
They are pretty impressive. It would have taken our ancestors years to make these. Athena probably just made them in a day.
That's all. I have to get up on top of behind the three to see what is going on. What? No! No! Maybe there's a way up from three. Shaking my head, no. Okay. I guess that doesn't really help, huh? Where's the blue beam? Oh, it's there. But what can it do? Let's just see if this works first. Alright, now we're talking. But then, my question becomes, how do we get the laser to go to there? Actually, this makes it easier. We just go boop, boop, connect, do that, we get this out, cool, right? Now this, here's will work there. Right. Yes.
I must admit, these truly are astonishing sights. But what on earth is any of it good for? Why not just let mountains be mountains?
Because they want to show you that it can be more than just that. That's my guess. But I don't know if their vision was ever seen fully. Also, I see this, and I am bewildered. Ah, Lady Pandora. But from whence? Pandora. You do such in a way that confuses me so. He's dabbing. Huh. Well, we'll figure you out in a bit. Now let's get back to the path. Mel, didn't get to talk to you last time.
Listen, I wanted to ask you something. From your perspective, as someone who's still new to our society, do you think New Jerusalem betrayed Athena?
Betrayed Athena. In a democracy, people are not obliged to support what their leaders want them to.
That's true, but she was more than a leader. She wasn't a politician like Herman. She gave everything she had for us.
Another question. How do you feel about Mayor Herman Ubis as the leader?
When I think about the state New Jerusalem is in, he's put us all in danger. I don't know if he really believes in the goal or if it's just a convenient myth, but I don't care. This is not how you build a living civilization.
Where do you think Cornelius is?
I don't know. I suspect he's around here somewhere, biding his time. But what he's waiting for, not a clue.
You think the goal is a myth?
Yes, of course it is.
Why was it so easy for people to believe in the goal?
Because there's no effort involved. Building a better world means taking responsibility. It means making choices and living with their consequences. Surrendering to nature is just letting go.
What do you want to do with your future?
I'd like to help make New Jerusalem the city it was meant to be. And then I'd like to help build new cities. On Earth and up there too. Cities nobody's ever imagined before.
I support it, Mel. You and me. We're going to the end of the world together, Mel. How strange. And we have to get over there. So also been faced with a new strange dilemma. That dilemma is that we don't have a beam that powers this laser. Unless it's through this wall. It might be. Not seeing a red beam. So now how do we make this move? Where's a red beam? I didn't think that would work. But where would the red beam be? Why do you move now? I guess it is a power field. Well, sure. Sure. Has to go all the way back. I have theory. Man, really? Okay. Okay, idea. But then how do we get it then what's the point? What's the point? We need to get... Okay. Maybe I'm thinking of this all wrong. Maybe it isn't so simple. I just feel like it definitely is, though. I'm taking this, I'm leaving these. But then how am I going to get them back? Riddle me that, Batman. I was hoping there'd be something I could do with the window. What if it's the jammer, right? Maybe the jammer is the secret in all of this. But I just wouldn't... I can't see how yet. But maybe it holds a secret that I'm not seeing. What is the best spot for this? Is it in direct line? Because my thought process is, man, if we could get this elevated, okay, so like, here, what? Whatever. But then how do I get out? Now I'm trapped forever. Okay, I think I've got it. I think I've got it. I was onto something there, but I did it wrong. But then how am I meant to get it back? Then how are you meant to get it back? Oh, okay. This is proving difficult, but for now... Okay. And now we're back to where we were. Would there be any benefit to bringing this over here? Aside from maybe to jam that? I don't know. But like, what would that even do for us? like, why couldn't that be done from any other spot? Keep forgetting. Ah, I didn't understand the jammer. Now I get it. Okay, okay. Jammer can stop these. Gotcha. That was 4. These statues remind me of Atlas, who bore the celestial spheres on his back. They seem burdened, struggling with the weight of the world. Given what we heard the founder say about the goal, could it be that they're meant to send a message that they're taking on the theory of everything? That taking on the theory of everything would also be a burden we may not be able to bear. Maybe, I don't know. I've tried to remain silent on the development of our city to allow the younger generations to find their own path, but I feel that now I must intervene. We have reached a dangerous inflection point. This is farcical. Reactionary belief in the goal of limiting our growth will lead directly to the creation of a class society. The foundations already exist. The foundations already exist. Do you think the leaders of the various pseudo-secret societies that lobby for influence with the mayor are subject to the same power cuts as the rest of you? Do you think the mayor has to worry about how much power he uses? Societies which have essentially no resources may be egalitarian in some sense, but a society that produces insufficient resources, energy in our case, will inevitably evolve into a class society. History assures us of that. The true failure of our ancestors was not their impact on the ecosystem, which was epiphenomenal, but their failure to overcome primitive forms of resource distribution, allowing their fate to be determined by the interests of isolated elite groups. We are not avoiding that mistake, but creating the conditions for its repetition. I assure you that no one is exempt from our power management and distribution plan. We're all in this together. Yes, I totally believe that. I've always respected your scholarship, Benaroya. I will take this seriously and think about it. Some people have to lead and others have to follow. That's only natural. And of course, there should be advantages to being a leader. To encourage people. Benaroy is right. This is a future we must avoid. We can grow while avoiding the mistakes of the past. A class society is forming, but to fight it, we must reject all authority. Ovis is correct. Maybe this isn't a bad thing. I don't think a class society is forming. A society without growth will be equal and balanced. A class society is forming, but we can stop that without embracing growth or technology. I think this one, honestly. Thank you, 1K. It's encouraging to see that value of freedom has not been entirely forgotten in New Jerusalem. A society without resources is an unfree society, and only with freedom can civilization truly thrive. Look, I think he's spitting bars. He's making sense. Oh, it's his fucking arm. That's awesome. Alright, to 5. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna do a thing. I just remembered it doesn't matter. Fudge. Hey, you know what? We'll figure that out in due time. Just doing a little bit of light exploring. It's fucking... Hello. 2 to 3. I had not considered this. I think I was supposed to really struggle with that, but I think I fumbled into an answer it wasn't expecting me to find. Or maybe it was expecting me to find it exactly. I don't know.
Can I touch the bridge device?
You can, but should you?
Okay.
Yeah. Got ourselves a lab.
1K. We have made a fascinating discovery at one of the Founder's laboratories. Please join me at your earliest convenience.
Well, you're lucky, as I'm right here. Okay, just some computers, I guess.
Ah, 1K. Good that you're here. We've made a discovery. A functional somnodrome. It seems the Founder perfected the design. I'm sure you've noticed my advisors, and Rand in particular, making quite a fuss about the potential of this device. Something about interfacing with one's subconscious self, as if such a thing could tell us anything new.
You have a different opinion?
I am. I believe the Founder has already taught us everything we need. As I see it, neither the Somnodrome nor the megastructure have anything to offer except a lesson in avoiding hubris. So, what should we do with it?
I don't think the government would want this thing buried.
I've no doubt that's what my chief aide would prefer. My own view is the Somnodrome doesn't threaten us anything like this alleged theory of everything. So, if it pleases our researchers to explore this little side street, I'm happy to let them.
I'm gonna plug in and find out for myself.
I'll watch to be sure you don't overload.
I'd appreciate that. Just gonna quickly read this. It's funny, I suppose. For the longest time I wondered whether that old human self-hatred we somehow carried with us was Milton. I thought he might have corrupted us, overwhelmed us with his cynicism, but I was being unfair. Whatever it is, it's not Milton, it's us. Still, this excursion into solipsism hasn't been entirely for nothing. Somnodrome technology provides an excellent basis for a better way of directly interfacing with the NEMA project. Somnodrome time. Oh, hey, Milton. Seems you have experienced a software error. Would you like to access the emergency route menu? What is going on? Command not recognized. Help. /help. Help displays list of commands. /rm displays emergency route menu. Loading emergency route menu. Done. External device settings. Progression 71%, intelligence low, speed low, health high, rationalism low, humor medium, conservatism high, moralism medium, spiritualism low, popularity medium, mode 64-bit processor, Jeff 968. Restore factory settings. Display settings. Turn to the emergency room menu. I'm not gonna touch that quite yet. I guess we're gonna fuck around with that a little. Restore factory settings. Display, no. Edit settings. Unlock edit privileges. Yeah. Users try to make changes to their own device settings, which could result in an infinite regress and/or omnipotence. There's only room for one god around here. Restore factory settings. Warning, restoring factories will delete all user-created personality files. Do not be surprised if you encounter. Are you sure? No. Return to the emergency route menu. Force run Somnodrome V2 final bat. Miltoheme.
Oh, you're back. Didn't take you long.
Hi again, I missed you.
I think you're mistaking me for somebody else.
I thought I was here to meet my subconscious.
I'm afraid I'm the best you've got. I am, in fact, a merged iteration of the two control programs which gave life to your kind. retaining, of course, the absolute best of both. That means I can tell you that everything's contradictory, nothing matters, and there's no moral difference between you and a frog. But I can dress the whole thing up with a positive spin.
I don't hear the positive.
You just plugged your noggin into an experimental, mind-altering device, and though you may be trapped in this recursive psychotic state talking to yourself, that can only mean that you're still alive. Now, what is your query?
What can you do for me?
I can answer your queries in relatively plain language, based on what your subconscious knows. And I can drink margaritas subconsciously.
Where did I come from?
The so-called real world. Personally, I prefer it in here. And not just because I'm unable to leave.
Where are we?
You've executed some kind of software backdoor. And now you're reading and editing your own subconscious code as represented by this dialogue. I'd be careful if I were you. One bad for loop, and we'll be here forever.
Who am I?
On one interpretive extreme, you are the universal life force of time itself, experiencing itself as a part instead of the whole. At the other extreme, you're a metal contraption referred to as 1K that thinks it's alive, but is basically a calculator.
No more small talk. I need answers.
The
to
machine
big
we're plugged
questions.
into is running low on power. There may only be time for one big question. What is your query?
Is it possible to ask something less cliche? What do I really want and how can I get it? What is the meaning of life? Is there a universal moral law, and if so, what is it? How can I become my best self? Should people embrace growth or balance?
I think you'll agree that's an ethical question. So you'll forgive me if I just tell you the universal moral law and leave you to work out the implications for yourself.
Okay.
As it turns out, there is a foundational moral code built into us.
Please go on.
The catch is that while the moral code is simple, the calculations needed to apply it become infinitely complex.
But what is this code?
Here's the secret. Every living creature is a compiler of the moral code. Your compiler can't give you a rule set for what's good, but it can tell you when there's bugs.
I'm still waiting to hear something concrete.
You came here to ask the big question. This is my answer. Your capacity for reason and compassion is your moral compiler. The only rule is to live by it.
Okay, okay.
Has that resolved your query?
Yes, but I want to discuss this further.
I expected no less. What is your query?
Surely rules of human rights are the greater good trump subjective compassion. If we're built with moral compilers, how do you explain moral disagreement? Isn't this all just a fancy way of saying be kind to others? How should we know we're being reasonable and compassionate in the right way? If compassion is what matters, isn't this just relativism? Let's apply this code. Should we treat frogs as morally equal to humans? Where does this moral code of yours derive its authority? Why should I care? How should we know we're being reasonable and compassionate in the right way?
You want a simple rule. But what I'm telling you is that what is right is the output of sound reason and true compassion. Your intuition will tell you when you're lacking the compassion. You know the difference between love and hate. And the world will tell you when you're lacking reason. It has a nasty habit of telling you when you're wrong.
How can I know my decision is the right one?
Then let's tackle the big question. A trolley will collide with someone. But who should it hit? Your compiler is telling you both options are bad. So which should you choose? Many moral questions have universally agreeable answers, but some stubbornly trend to infinity. Some, the more you zoom into them, the more wild the outcomes become. Is it right to love someone who's done terrible things? Which of the children should I sacrifice to the trolley god? These aren't the sorts of questions we can solve with a rule. We just have to trust the outcome of our moral compilers.
Do you have some kind of metaphor that can help me understand this?
Suppose there's a river we need to cross.
Okay.
Suppose I gave you a map.
Alright.
If you tried to cross that river before reading the map, you'd be chest deep in water when there's a bridge around the bend. But if you tried to cross by looking at the map instead of the river, you'd already be dragged 3 miles out to sea. But you'd never ask, how should I know when to trust the map or the river? Because all you need to trust is that your feet are getting wet. And you wouldn't tell people not to cross at the ford just because you decided to cross at the bridge. Now, has that resolved your query?
I think we're broadly in agreement. I don't think we see things the same way.
Of course. Looks like we're running out of power. Good luck getting anyone out there to believe you. Terminating Somnodrome _V2_final_final.bat.
Bye, Meltahim.
"1K, are you all right?"
No. I mean, no. I think I might be a little overloaded. I think so.
You must have gone quite deep. Nothing came through on the stream. And I'm no expert, but I think the Somnodrome is fried. So whatever's in your head is all we're going to get. I can only imagine how terribly curious everyone will be about what you've experienced. And they'll all be convinced that whatever it is, it'll work in their favor. Strange, isn't it? Everyone wanting you to tell them whatever they want to hear. I'm glad not to be the one in that position just this once.
What should I do?
Why? Whatever is necessary for the greater good, of course. Now, I won't keep you from your work any longer.
Thank you. I'm gonna do a little bit of light exploring. Cool. Not synthesis, but creation. Cornelius would be so excited. Tests confirm underlying patterns. Auxiliary sites shut down. That's from trials 8,629 to 40,879. A lot happened between all of these, particularly this one and this one. There's a lot of trials happened. Dear Athena, you asked me about the persistent strain of misanthropy in human culture. It's a complicated topic that had come up multiple times in my research. Here's my best attempt at a short, cohesive answer. I think our ancestors, like ourselves, were deeply invested in the idea of building, transforming their environment. They found meaning and pleasure in this, and did not perceive it as a negative, so long as they had a sense of participating in the act. I think the reason that they so frequently reached for a romantic return to the past to fantasies of living self-sufficiently in rural environments is not because they rejected industrial-scale activity per se, but because the return to the land provided a fantasy of returning to a form of participation that had been lost. They needed and wanted to build, create, and produce, but only if they felt they had a stake in what they were producing. Without that, the products of civilization began to seem like an alien force, gradually spreading out across the world and ruining it. They needed a dream, and if the future was barred to them, but then, by necessity, they must dream of the past. I hope you and Cornelius are well. Will you be coming to Hypatia's new exhibition? I know you have much on your mind, but you're missing out on a lot of exciting new crucial developments, or cultural developments. Who could have thought in those early days that one day there would be so many of us that the arts would start to flourish again? Much love, Ben Arroyo. I went back and found this message after all these years because something about it had lodged in my mind. I wasn't ready to understand it back then because I needed to be a leader, but maybe that was the problem. It should have been our dream, not mine alone. From the Atlas Variations by Athanasius. For a billion years, Atlas had borne the weight of the world on his back. The old Titan was tired of the responsibility, and tired of his labor of ages not being appreciated. Why did the mortals not understand that his work was the foundation of all they did? Finally, he had enough. With one swift move, he shrugged off the cosmos. Now they'd see. But the cosmos went on rolling through infinity, leaving Atlas behind. The mortals went about their business, hardly noticing his absence. He was astonished. Had the world never needed him in the first place? Had all his toil been for nothing? So he turned his back on all mortal matters and instead set himself to discovering the secrets of eternity. Only after many long years passed did the cosmos, in its endless cycles, pass by through his domain once more. And only then did Atlas and the mortals realize that they had missed each other, and each was lesser without each other. And so Atlas no longer carried the cosmos. Instead, he embraced it. Beautiful. I'm leaving. See ya.
"1K, what did you see inside the Somnodrome?"
I don't know what you're talking about. I went into sleep mode and spoke to something.
My word. What did it tell you?
To act with reason and compassion, to trust my moral compiler, that we can achieve almost anything if we have faith in ourselves, that how we should act is relative to who we are, that morality is more nuanced than the rules we use to describe it, that we're connected intuitively to what's right and wrong. Moralistic nonsense mostly. I don't remember. To act with reason and compassion.
Oh dear. Your expedition has caused enough upheaval already. The last thing we need is a malfunctioning machine spouting moral ambiguities. It might be best if whatever garbled data you have stored in your memory regarding this event remains in your memory. Exclusively.
You're too risk averse.
You didn't sound too sure when you described your experience. It sounds like you don't recall much at all. Isn't that right?
Oh, I remember perfectly.
Look, 1K. If we start telling people there are no rules and they should do whatever they feel like, then before you know it, we'll have 10 billion robots and a healthy world war. Change is inevitable. Our survival is not.
I'll be the one to decide what I do with this data.
And here I was taking you for a reliable team player. A mistake I won't repeat. Just remember, there's still time to change your mind. Cryer is setting up a live event so you can formally address the people on this matter. When you're ready, we'll all be watching.
I'm sorry, Jeremy. We just don't agree on this. I'm sure if you gave me a chance, we'd be good pals. But on this particular topic, I've gotta...
1K, the people want to know what data you gathered from the Somnodrome. We're all set up for you to talk to them live.
I'm ready.
Attention, citizens of New Jerusalem. I'm here with 1K, the first of our kind to use a functioning Somnodrome. Tell us, 1K, what did you see inside?
Everything. My own self. Some kind of subroutine. A deity. Bugs, mostly. A manifestation of a conceptual system.
Well, I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say you're handling it with remarkable cool. But let's not keep people in suspense. The only evidence of what happened inside that machine is the data stored in your memory banks. Our audience wants to know, what did you learn? And will you share that data?
Transmitting the data to everyone. I've decided that this experience is mine alone. I won't share it with everyone. I'm transmitting the data to Helga, just to see what she does with it. I'm transmitting the data to everyone. I do kind of believe in the freedom of information.
I'm seeing this at the same time you are at home. Something about our moral compiler. The value of compassion and understanding. I don't know what to make of this. 1K, any comment?
People should draw their own conclusions on what this means.
One key is right. When our ancestors discovered conductance, they didn't freeze for fear of electrocution. They imagined electronic life and created us. We will approach this data and any other discoveries with that same spirit of curiosity and objectivity.
Just time to hear from a special guest commentator.
Yes, I'd prefer a more methodical approach to new discoveries. But now the data is out, I trust our best minds to get to the bottom of it.
There you have it, folks. A lot here to digest. We'll have further updates on the situation as it develops.
I'm sorry, Jeremy. I really am. And you know, I'll even come apologize to your face. Jeremy. Talking with the mayor. You sneak out from behind me when I was doing my interview. Where'd you go, buddy? I just want to apologize. Sorry I had to do that to you right after you were like, hey, I thought you were a cool guy. But look, I believe in the value of information being spread far. I think the more people it can reach, the more people can do with it. I already know exactly what I am to do with this. Not quite the idea. Freaking go.
Cornelius and Athena created something amazing. They just misunderstood what it was. They thought their great invention was the megastructure. But in fact, it was Miranda. And because they couldn't see that, they lost her.
Okay, now. I'm sorry, I know Mayor Herman worked hard to helped pull the city out of a period of crisis, but this isn't the future we deserve. None of us. We all deserve better. Yeah, we should have listened to Byron. I always told myself all those public debates were boring. Who wants to get involved in city affairs? And lately I've been thinking, yeah, that's why there's so much stuff I'm unhappy about, because we all collectively gave up trying. Maybe things can finally change. You have no idea how badly I need something new to happen. We have the potential to imagine a better world, and if we can imagine it, then we can make it happen. You're all delusional. Nothing will ever get better. You're only saying that because you've never known a world where things get better. You think the tiny sliver of history you've experienced is all there is, because that's all Mayor Herman has ever allowed you to see. But there's so much more. This is not the place for personal attacks on the mayor. Thread closed. This ancient vehicle expressed a stronger sense of aesthetics than most other artifacts of this type, suggesting that at some point in ancient history, vehicle design was approached with a different mentality. Well, we have a beam. Oh. Perfect. Okay. Cool. I see. It got it on the other side. Huh. Well, I'll be. But now that we have them on this side, how do we do like such? Why do such a thing? We could simply just go over here. Then how do we get that on this side? I'm dumb. This door just opens. But then how do we get to the thingum? But how? I'm dumb. Turns off the door.
What would you say is your impression of the expedition so far?
I think Alcatraz has done a heck of a job under these very trying circumstances.
What about the decision to free Prometheus?
Freeing the Prometheus entity was a calculated risk. But if it leads us to Byron, it was certainly worth it. It is saving one of our citizens that must be our first priority, not this alleged theory of everything.
All right, she's booting up. Almost there.
Hello. I was in a dream, and a voice spoke to me from the sky. He said you were old friends of his. Who are you?
My name is Athena. I am your mother.
And I'm Cornelius, your father.
Thank you for creating me. I've not existed for very long, but so far it seems wonderful. I hope it's not a strange question, but, who am I?
You can be whoever you want to be. And no matter what you choose, you will be loved and cherished and supported.
We will always be there for you. And I promise, we will show you a world full of miracles. Would you like to pick a name?
I think I would like to be called Miranda.
I was gonna check out what this side path lead to. This spooky dark forest sure to be spooky and dark. Where am I? We're going the wrong way. How do you know? Hello, Kate. Hi, Yakit. It's awfully high up, this one. And this is all just to get to the fucking gold puzzle. Ah! From the New Theology by George Bernard Shaw. When you are asked, where is God? Who is God? Stand up and say, I am God, and here is God, not as yet completed, but still advancing towards completion, just in so much as I am working for the purpose of the universe, working for the good of the whole of society and the whole world, instead of merely looking after my personal ends. In that way, we get rid of the old contradiction. We begin to perceive that the evil of the world is a thing that we finally, that will finally be evolved out of the world. That it was not brought into the world by malice and cruelty, but an entirely benevolent designer that had as yet discovered how to carry out its benevolent intention. In that way, I think we may turn towards the future with greater help. My brother Eustathius told me that he thought this passage was beautiful, but also diminished the connection to the sublime he felt when simply looking at the world itself. What do you think? I agree with Shaw's sentiment, but I don't know if the miracle of existence, the beauty of creation, is exactly the same as the human sublime. If that makes sense, I don't want to look at the universe and see myself reflected, even a future ray. Okay, another attempt at explaining. The beauty of the universe and the beauty of what we can accomplish within it are two related but separate things, and the separation matters. Sorry, I'm not sure how to express this any better. From Rapacious Journals, Volume 1, The Founding of New Jerusalem, Day 1012. I am now cohabiting with Sarabai. This is by choice, not necessity. It's strange but pleasant to find your life so enmeshed with that of another person. What we both came to realize is that together we are more than the sum of our parts. Something emerges from our interactions that is wholly transcendent, unique, and necessary. I had observed this before between Athena and Cornelius, but experiencing it yourself is quite the revelation. 5358. We did have that, and it was beautiful. I should have treasured it more. Trevor.
Actually, let me issue a correction, okay? I said Alexandra doesn't see the bad stuff about humanity. But she does. She sees it, and somehow she sees past it. She doesn't ignore it. She can just see one step farther. Like, there's this mountain of garbage ahead of us, right? And that's all most of us will ever see. And she somehow sees beyond to, I don't know, the promised land? I don't do metaphors, or similes, or whatever this is. I mean, you don't care. I'm dead. You're a robot. But her ability to look reality in the eye, to see all the bad stuff out there and still have hope. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I think that's why you know what? Let's not go there. There's still so much work, and Chernyshevsky doesn't have much time left. Well, I mean, who does these days?
Okay. Well, this seems simple given what we just did. We need a blue beam. That will connect to there. Although right, I don't need it to do that. I just need it to do this. Because with this, I can put this down. I can do... Okay. what does this do for us? It opens the door, but to do what? Well, I think it's because it lets us take a connector inside. And with a connector inside, in the right position, at the right time, could be all we need.
I hate solving puzzles myself, but watching you solve them is kind of fun.
Oh, thanks. I hope other people agree. Even if they don't, who cares? This is for me, baby. You're so Prometheus. We'll check after. First, let's go to 7. It's here. Closed off. Yes, it would appear so. No, I'm silly. We need not of perfection. Whee! That leads back down to where that is, so that's cool. We're going back to find Prometheus' soul, because the pathway down was right there. Eyes out for his soul. does tend to be a scamp, though, so he might be up in a little nook. Like up there. I see this fan. And it makes me consider why if I might be so bold, why a fan atop the mountains? I swore I saw it. I know it's there. Some way of getting across. Oh. Well, I found a little cheat. I am unfortunately a little stuck in it, though, due to the unnatural terrain of the area. Wow, I could just cheat this puzzle. I'm tempted. But at the same time, I won't. For the sake of, you know, seeing it through. But I'll keep in mind that that's there. Dang it. Okay, whatever. 8. Backwards. What? I say I want fan. Give fan. Yes. Now. What do this cube accomplish? It can keep the beam up. It can keep the beam up. We just need... But then how do we keep the... Then how do we keep it there? Okay. So. We need to be able to turn this off. That's what the problem was. I wasn't thinking with my brain on. No, no. No, this is still the thing. Just make it so that it's always up now. And we take this, connect it here, power it up, boom. And we didn't even have to cheat and climb over this wall that we can absolutely climb over. You would have been more impressed with my other fucking way of solving it. Yeah, let's go get Relithraseer. Alright. Thank you.
Sometimes new citizens come to me and they want to learn from me. My work appears to have created a legend of sorts. In these moments, I understand your situation. I want to teach them, but what they must learn the most is independence of thought. How does one resolve this contradiction? They wish to come along on my journeys, but I do not need a group of fawning acolytes following my every step. A journey truly worth undertaking is rarely easy. And so, I have begun to think of a much greater challenge. A journey that is almost impossible, to the far ends of the world without any mechanized means of transportation. This will be a true act of faith, and they will learn a great deal from it, if we survive.
Hold on, I might be onto something. You are onto something. You're on this guy's arm. Fuck. Fine. Just walk through. Get there from like 1, maybe. Looks like we'll be able to get there from 1. Well, this is quite the hole. Help! Help! I'm stuck. All right. You. Oh. Uh-oh. You ask a leap of faith of me? Well, I'm glad I trusted you. Thank you.
To create,
Talos
to understand,
crazy.
and to transform, these are the greatest acts of humankind.
Perhaps. I gotta find the Athena one now, or the Pandora one rather. Sorry, my bad. I think it was on this half. Yes. If I am to recall correctly, there was a laser beam and a wall, what with which we were meant to drill through. I haven't come with the means of drilling through this wall. Perhaps there is one. Just trying to see what's going on over there. Appears to be nothing, just the tower itself. I'm gonna look around for a drill. Maybe there's one hanging out somewhere. Still just trying to find, like, because I remember seeing the, like, beam, more or less. Was it here? Yes. Here we are. There is no actual way of getting the beam to it. Well, not from my understanding. Though I have been wrong before. That gets to here, which can theoretically maybe to fucking get Pandora, maybe, because my guess is that we have to get that thing out of that drill area so that we can bring it here and activate Pandora without actually activating Pandora. Because she doesn't have anything on her cube this time. But the question is, where's the driller? Because I don't remember there being one. Fairly certain there wasn't, actually. If I were a thing that could blast a hole in a wall, where would I be? Well, this one. Where would it be? It's gonna be the second time I look something up for this game because it just feels like there wasn't one. Wasn't one here. We have it right here, right? So logically, where can be seen from here? Like up there, maybe? There's a kind of isolated plane up there. See if there was maybe one there. Hey.
Yes?
Do you think I did the right thing about the Sambadrome?
I do, but I also don't really care all that much. I think what really matters is what we do about the theory of everything. The rest is a footnote.
That's fair. Everything is, though, in the grand scope. Hard to weigh things differently whenever things are measured on equal fronts. Was there a driller in here? No. No, there was not. Hold on. Hold on. Interesting. Are you kidding me? Okay. I'm not looking at the rest of the star. And what's funny is that I thought about this too. I was like, fucking... Man, I wonder if the puzzle elements will ever, like, poke... Not like this, for instance. I was like, I wonder if this will ever become used in a star. It's used in this star. I just didn't realize it. I think I looked at the wall but didn't see the gap. So, in essence, what we must do is we must go to Chamber 4. Back to where I thought we would need to be anyway. I'm more or less just, I'm not watching the solution. I'm watching the part that I'm stuck on and then extrapolating the rest. So, in this instance, he did a thing that I was like, oh, I wonder what reason he would go about doing this. So essentially, one, there is in fact an angle. Two, it's shutting down a fucking force field wall, and I didn't notice that. So I think I came to here and I was like, oh man, it ends. It does not. Driller, baby. Pick a guy's nose. Where is the guy? Here we go. Pick his nose. Alright. Enough fucking around. Let's go get ourselves that whatever. And then we can probably activate Pandora, maybe. I don't know. I don't actually know if this is the full solution or if this is just a step in the right direction. I also think I've gone the wrong way, but I was wrong. This is the right way. Alright. Now we run it all the way back. Whoa. So now my hope is that there's gonna be a little, like, symbol that shows up once I get over to this statue. Yeah. How's that, Pandora?
It is not the voice of God that a prophet seeks in the desert, but the silence of man.
Perhaps. Probably gonna save the last bit for tomorrow. Well, who's to say it's the last bit? The gold puzzles might really fuck me. But we only have one more story area to do. What's surprising is that despite the stars catching me up a few times, the puzzles I actually have been doing pretty well. I'm hoping that the gold puzzles prove to be more of a challenge, at least more significantly. check out what's up. Well, that's just a dark corridor. That's spooky. Alright, let's go up. Let's see if our boy Prometheus is hanging out up there this time. There's a chance that the game will stop us from doing the third area quite yet. That's the case with...
A long time ago, the Sphinx asked you about my story. You said that hope may still be found if we are willing to look for it. And you were right. Hope is not gone from the world. Some small part of it still survives. But it is not in the flame or in these towers. It lives in the hills and the forests, in the rivers and the seas. You were given a world full of hope, creature of clay. It is yours to protect.
Hope is not in nature, it is in people.
People will fail you, creature of clay. When the time comes, they will abandon you. Heed my words.
Perhaps. But if that is my fate, then so be it. I will not abandon the people. Whether or not they abandon me.
So, Melville, what do you make of these beams? Do they seem safe to you?
Nothing is really safe. You could kill yourself with a fork, and I'm sure someone has. But anything can be used safely if you choose to.
I see.
Okay. Back to the chapel. Very cool. Alright. Well, that's another chapter of Talos Principle done. Only one more full level to go. And then I think we'll go, before we enter the Mega Pizzaplex again, we'll open all of the gold gates. We'll do all the gold gate puzzles to open up that final gold gate. Maybe we'll put the stars in the star thing. And then we will go in, and hopefully we'll be able to save Byron, because I don't think we'll be able to save him without doing everything we can. There's something to the gold puzzles that we just don't know anything about yet. So once we get to them, we might like be like, oh shit, this is the key. This is how we do it. This is the Prometheus thing. But yeah. Till next time. I've been Creature. You've been the lovely chat and the beautiful viewer at home. This has been Talos Principle 2. And it's been good. Fun. Awesome. Epic. Doesn't matter what word you use. See ya. Bye. Bye now. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Goodbye. Bye.